Yeah.
No
lie, you look smooth, dog.
It wasn't playing. I swear to God, it was not playing.
Y'all ready? Just me?
Yeah.
Ready?
Team clutch.
All right, team.
Don't please don't make.
All right, yes, man. We are here again, yet again. But with a twist, man, we got somebody special with us, man. But you know what I'm saying? It is me, your boy, Clutchmatic here with
Miss Bree. Follow me on Instagram at miss_being me Bree BRI.
such a mouthful.
Kid Ace. That's it.
And for our special guest, we'll introduce him.
My name's Joseph. You can follow me on Instagram _Mr. Commerce, MR Commerce.
Isn't there underscore in there somewhere?
The first part.
Underscore.
I was gonna say the first letter, but first
Character.
before the first letter.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
First character. Yeah.
Alright,
Underscore
cool.
MR Commerce.
All right, boom, man. So shoot, first and foremost, man, how's everybody doing? Everybody?
It's a new year.
It's a new
It is
year.
2023.
It is.
That's so stressful.
You don't feel like it.
Because you're still young.
Oh no, because I'm stressing from day to day.
That's,
I'm taking it
Do that when you're young.
Hey, look,
2022 has somewhere to be.
It didn't reset with the
ain't
year.
no, 'cause
It
that
just
was
kept
quick.
going.
Yeah, it
come
is.
to you.
That was quick.
Man, so shoot, man. So for 2023, top of the year, man. First things first, man. I'm so glad to be here,
Mm-hmm.
healthy. You know what I'm saying? Relatively happy. You know, we're getting to it. Good job, good family structure, everything good. So I mean,
Yeah.
and I wish that, you know what I'm saying, same thing for everybody that's in this room, man, and everybody that is going to see this and, you know what I'm saying, interact with this, and just peace, positivity, love, and light across the board, man. For sure. Even for the haters, but it's cool, whatever.
We don't even acknowledge them.
I appreciate them still. It's still.
Let me know I'm doing something right.
For sure. But yeah, man. Shoot, man. So I'm gonna start with my group topic first, and then we can get specifically into who this gentleman is to my left. And I feel like it's cheating, but the Monday Night Football game yesterday.
It's not cheating.
You
gotta be able to
I
pivot.
appreciate you, man. But that was crazy. If I wasn't even watching the game, I literally, when you text the group chat and you was like, "Yo, y'all watching this?" I was like, "Nah."
But
And
you're a
then
football guy. How you want watching the
It's not the Eagles.
After when fantasy, I didn't win the championship in fantasy football, so I stopped caring about
so you-
everybody
so
that's
you're
not
so
Philly. And I just went back to regular operation. All right, cool. Let's just lock back in on Philly. You know what I'm saying? We good. But man, when I just picked up my phone and saw what happened, I was
right.
dang, because when you read the headline, it was just that he collapsed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was just oh no, he just fainted. That's crazy. But then watching it, just taking the hit and then getting up and then just all right, let me get right, and then just I was
I feel like that was that moment, and there have been moments across football history that have definitely stood out injury wise, but I feel like that moment was every player's fear embodied, every parent's fear embodied, every doctor's this is what we're talking about. That was that moment in real time.
Right.
And there was no, you couldn't just breeze past it and keep playing, and it would just be on the report in the next morning. Y'all had to stop for real.
on the national stage, postpone the game, didn't finish that jump. That's crazy. But I mean, honestly, the first thing I thought of, right, and this is the same thing I thought of when I saw the Tua situation when Tua had a concussion the first time.
You know that's the same field, right? Happened on the same field, same team.
Buffalo.
Dang.
That's crazy. Yeah. So the first thing I thought, I was like, yeah, if that was me, right, and I had the concussion with the stiff arms, I wouldn't play again. I would
Ever again?
I would never touch a football.
What level of that concussion is that on a 1 to 10? That's a 10?
Yeah. Because you're literally unconscious and your body's still moving. That's the scary part. Yeah, that's the scary
You said
part.
C's?
He sees though.
Yeah.
And this is Tua.
Yeah, Tua talking about his arms went stiff and his fingers were doing this and it was crazy.
Yeah, we thought they were just gang signs.
Yeah, for sure. I made the joke no, I'm not. He throwing the crazy stuff.
And then how many concussions was that for him this season?
That was his second one. and then he got his third one 2 weeks ago or last week or something like that. So if it was me,
It
after
was
that
2
one,
in 1 game, right?
yeah, for sure. Because the first joint, he stood up and he was like wobbly. He got back up. All right, cool, whatever. And then came back in the game and it was bad. It was bad. But I mean, me personally, I would never play again. Because I feel as though like if I was Mr. Hamlin personally, I would never play again. If I make it through this, because somebody else had to know it. Because the hit, it didn't look like it was like crazy enough to really stop somebody's heartbeat from beating. You know what I'm saying? Going into cardiac arrest like off of like impact. So that means some doctor somewhere probably just like brushed it under the rug. Like, oh no, he'll be straight. Like, you just go out there and play, like suck it up for the team. You know, put your brothers.
So he had an issue with his previous
Yes,
issue.
100%. So I would say, Brad, I would never play again. I would just, bro. And I'm suing somebody getting sued because they made me go out there. They made me go out there and play, and then look what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta have kids, I gotta have a wife, my mama watching, my grandma in the crowd. Like, come on, man. Like, me personally, I wouldn't do it. If I was Tua, same thing, never play again.
And you say that, and then I think that there are people probably in the world, and some players that feel like they're regular 9-to-5 jobs with people putting their life on the line every day to take care of their family. And so there might be some people in the world are like, what makes me any different? Like, what makes that, you know, and arguably I'm making substantially more money for my family in doing so. And so, you know, I personally wouldn't do it. It's not a thing I would do. And as you know, a parent of 2 boys and one who is in love with the game of football, that's a real thing I have to consider. It's like, am I going to, you know, allow my child to pursue something he's passionate about, even though he could get seriously hurt and or die?
Yeah, I mean, I've had concussions from football and not from football. You know what I'm saying? Like the one from football, it wasn't that bad. It was just I literally just got slammed. Like it was what it was. But like the worst one I ever got was from like car crash. That joint, I was unconscious. Like I was like
lost some memory.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I woke up and I was like, dog, what's going on? Like. And that's not a good feeling. Like we wake up and you just like hear everything like coming back to you. And just like, yo, like what's going on? And you know what I'm saying? Like in that particular instance, I couldn't breathe. Like the seatbelt was like wrapped around me like crazy. In the middle of the freeway in New York. Like I was like, son, what happened? And it was just the worst thing ever. So concussions are nothing to play with. Like. And now, to this day, I feel like my memory isn't as sharp as it used to be. I used to remember, like, I used to be able to look at a credit card and remember it. If I look at it for like 10, 15 seconds, I don't remember the whole thing.
That's because of your retail experience, not because you scammed.
Nah.
Just had to clarify.
Those skills were acquired legally, I promise.
No, I'm not a scammer. I work too hard to be a scammer. But I could, man.
Sound like level 1 scammer though.
I could. Entry level scammer. For sure. But damn, man. I would bleep that whole thing out. Don't
best friend.
But shit, man. Do y'all want to toss to a topic, or y'all want
to? I'm curious as to how you know our guests.
Man, can I tell the story?
Yeah, like how do y'all know?
Listen,
you tell your story, and then I'm gonna tell you.
He's a stranger essentially to everybody else here.
Man. So I used to live at the end of 200. Well, I guess the beginning of 200. Okay. The end of 200 is Gaithersburg.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So spot called And Pizza. The first place I've ever had honey with pizza. It changed my life. Right, so that And Pizza was about 26 minutes from my house, but the And Pizza was only 3 minutes from the gym I went to. So I would, you know, make sure that, you know, I was pretty empty stomached when I went to work out. And
you just come from LA Fitness?
Nah, Lifetime.
Oh wow. Oh.
Yeah. So So I'm leaving the gym, and I was just like, you know, I got this. I think I had a 2 for 1. That's back when And Pizza was, you could put it in your budget. Now it's like they discounts are only like pennies. But anyway, I got 2 for 1. So I show up, and whatever I have is not working. like the coupon is not coming up, right? Here comes the manager, or I don't know what his title was. It could have been above manager, but he's a decision maker, and he like, I got you, right? Matter of fact, it wasn't that the coupon wasn't working. I didn't have any money. I had the Cash App. I was going to Cash App either him or the other guy.
Oh, wow.
And they were going to be like, you know, I put the money
I'll put
in.
it.
He was like, nah, don't worry about it. And I was like, don't worry. It's entry level scammer right there.
And he
on my side of the
money on the
scam.
Cash App, right?
On my side of the scam, so we was
That's
good.
crazy.
But nah, he was like, you know, you're good. And I was like, what type of person would honestly be willing to just like don't know me from Adam just to, you know, hey, you good, black man, you good. So in my head, I was like, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
People don't do
you
that
know,
often.
you know what I mean? Like, I gotta pay you back some way, somehow. And we just stayed in touch from that point. We talked business. He had a daughter. I think I had just had a son. So, and his daughter's a little bit older than my son, so he was giving me some game on that. I didn't know how young he was at the time, because he just had some level of wisdom that was just like oozing off of his conversation. Like,
You just couldn't wait. You just had to.
and I was like, man, and Pizza got the soon-to-be goats working in here, right? So, like, we just stayed in touch. He told me he played football. I actually print football jerseys, so it was kind of like, you know, it was just a thought process as a business owner. Like, let me just stay connected, and we talked business, but we never really talked business after the first time we talked. It's just how you doing, how's fatherhood, you know. So that's
cool.
maybe he's got
Man.
Do you remember that?
Vividly. So that was me coming off one of the worst nights of my life. For real,
Wow.
for real. I was going on like hour number like 40 of being awake consecutively. Like I was stayed awake the whole time.
Oh, during this phase.
So, you know what I'm saying? I was in a horrible mood. And I made your pizzas. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? I was working along, I'm just like faking it till I make it. You know what I'm saying? Like really like, yeah, you know, so I'm in a really bad mood. But I can't show that to my team. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep my composure, lock in extra hard, and just like create the positivity that I want to see in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? Like just because, ooh, it was rough, boy. It was rough.
this was pre-pandemic, right?
Yep. Pre-pandemic. It was January 2020 or like late December, like 2019. So it was like, man, I was going crazy, and I was just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he was cool. Like he was cool through the line. Had nobody from. We had conversation, a couple of jokes back and forth. Like he's a good energy guy, bro. Look, you ain't got it. It's not a big deal because even if you don't take these pieces, I just have to throw them in the trash. I just got to throw them in the trash. Bro, you might as well just take them, bro. Like it's.
So that's level 1 scamming.
So now
Get to
it's
the
full
front.
circle.
We'll be
Sure.
back.
Here we come back to.
Crazy, nah. It was, but nah, it was rough, man. I was just like, this was like it was just a crazy coincidence. Like, what came out of something real negative, like spawned into something very, very positive, very positive for me. So I was just like, man, like, dang, like, and it was just like God was just like, yo, like, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just you just stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Just lock in.
Maintain your composure.
You won't be A-okay. Yeah, man.
Stay down.
And I tell everybody. Everybody that I work for. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I look for when I say that somebody's a good leader or a bad leader is being composed under chaos. Like if you cool, calm, collected, and everything around you is like, you know what I'm saying, going crazy, you might be on something. Like, you probably a pretty good leader just because like you're not panicking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I tell people it's like playing quarterback. Like you cannot panic at quarterback. You got to stay cool, calm, collected. You up 40, you down 40. Stay cool, calm, collected, and you just stick to the script, man. And that's just how I operate, man. Like
You did. Thank you. I still got that $20 in my cash.
for sure, man. But shoot, man, like,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, man.
Good guy, dude.
Man.
But no, I mean that's your character. That you know, in the time that I've known you, the extensive amount of time, like that has been your character. Even when you're in the thick of it, like you still you've never hesitated to like reach behind you and pull somebody else up,
Sure.
even if you're not going where they're headed.
Right.
You like, hey, but you want to go up there.
That's how I'm with M-Pizza right now.
For sure.
Oh, you still work for the company?
Yeah.
You carry the same policy. If I get to the register and I run out of cash,
So, I can't say that on camera.
all right, cool. I think I got my answer, so I'm kind of.
Good.
I don't work there no more. What? Can't nobody.
Y'all literally are clutch.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah. So, where you? So you're in PG Mall, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Not
What
too
is
far.
what's your title now?
Assistant shop leader, assistant GM, and other restaurant terms.
Okay.
So I mean, I remember this guy. I met this guy when I was working somewhere else, and you fresh out of high school, right?
No, I was in college.
You was in college. Oh, you was going to Booyah, right? Cool. Came in there, and I was just like, all right, let me just get this young black man a chance now.
Yeah.
Now he, man, my man,
He don't need you.
Good for a time. Yo, nah, you don't know no more. And that's the good thing. You elevate, you don't need no more, bro. But as long as like the relationship is still intact, you know what I'm saying? That's all that matters to me, man. It's all about relationships. For relationships is equity.
Yeah,
For
100%.
sure. Like it's a good thing, man. But how did you like get your start doing what you do? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And what do you do? Because some of us don't know.
So one thing I do, the main thing, I'm not gonna say main
Oh,
thing,
fuck.
but my family started a t-shirt printing business when I was a real young lad. Like I might have been 7 years old when I actually remember it happening. It could have happened a little bit before that, but it started in my dad's basement. So it wasn't a day that I didn't know that it was happening. You know, the play area gone because you know this is not business. But
Sure.
So my dad wound up opening a store maybe 5 to about 7, 8 years later. So growing up in middle school, really mainly high school, I was there making money, learning the business, and you don't know in that moment that you are learning something that's going to be a part of your future plans. I'm just, like you were saying, I'm just trying to get through the day. Like,
Sure.
if I can make enough money to go buy 3-pack of t-shirts, the Jordans I want next Saturday, the CD I want, you know, just the mindset was just like, these are the things I want. I have an opportunity to work somewhere to get it. I don't have to rely on my parents saying,
Yeah.
we got enough, we don't got enough, no, you can't have that, yes, you can have that. I can go create my own stream of revenue. So even when I was like in 3rd grade, I would take Kool-Aid, mix it with sugar, put it in a bag, and sell it to my classmates. So we called that funded when you went to 7-Eleven or you went to the ice cream truck. But in my estimation, I can get you funded right here in the middle of class. You ain't got to sneak in the teacher's lounge like we used to. Like you can get the candy you want right now.
The
Snack man was
teacher's
always-
lounge.
That's
I was
crazy.
that's what I was a
Snack
snack
man was
fool.
always clutch at school.
That's what I did when I was in 8th grade.
That's what
You sold. You sold not.
So, look, I stopped taking the bus. So I would leave like my house out like at like the crazy early morning, walk to Giant, and like buy a bunch of stuff. Like just buy a bunch of Gatorade, buy a bunch of gum, everything $1, right? So if I'm buying it, it's like full. It's like the big pack. So I'm like, cool. If I sell everything for $1 in this job, I'll make a profit every single day. Boom. Then I could buy all this clothes I want. I could buy all the shoes I want. So I ain't wearing these Shaqs no more. I ain't wearing Felines no more. Cause I gotta fight now.
Depending on what Shaq you had, the Reebok Shaq,
No, I had
the Walmart Shaq.
yes.
Oh, you had the Shaquille's.
For sure.
That's
So
HAC.
we was fighting. Like you disrespect me, we fighting.
This was
I'm
on the
not-
side of your shoe.
Yeah. The
Oh,
rim
my
rocker,
God.
yeah, nah. So I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't do it no more because
Oh man.
I already got expelled once. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm
No,
tired.
that-
Yeah, I was in
You
high
learn
school.
something new every
Fool, I
day.
was getting expelled, suspended. So then I stopped. All right, let's fight
Look
somewhere
at
else.
him now, successful.
So you was fighting because you was mad at what people were saying.
Because I feel like, to me, respect is one of the most
You felt
important
disrespected
things.
by what they said.
And if you disrespect me, then we have a problem. And I feel like if you are, you know what I'm saying, going to keep disrespecting me, I can't really, you know what I'm saying? If you say something, it's like, all right, cool, how you trying to be funny, you trying to show off, you trying to impress some girl, whatever. But if you persistent in that, if you live in that, if you stand in that, then I kind of gotta like stand up for myself at some point in time. Because, I mean, my dad told me as a kid, you know what I'm saying, somebody put their hands on you, you know what I'm saying, you do what you gotta do. And if somebody disrespects you, then you gotta correct them. And you better not lose the fight or make you fight them again.
Right.
That's just, you know what I'm saying? So if we lost, we shook it off, and then, you know what I'm saying, well, we gonna have an understanding of it. Like, that's not gonna happen again. Like, that's it, man.
I'm not crying. My contact is fighting my
I was
eyes.
about to say
It's
that
okay.
shit.
I'm
That
at-
shit killed.
That's powerful,
That shit killed Joe. Did
Came
take
from the
that.
shots, and I just got my Jordans in the mail today.
My song, the green ones.
Ready.
Oh boy, I can't.
So where I come from, you had to fire back. Like you had to have something to say. You know, it wasn't too many times we fought over Jonah, as we call
I don't
him.
know why.
Yeah.
We had to like fend for ourselves. Like we had to have a comeback.
I was book smart, but I was not witty. When I was younger, I wasn't that witty. Like I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. Like now I'm like, hey, no, I go crazy. I'll snap on somebody crazy. But back then I just was like more emotional.
Right.
Like nah, if I felt you disrespect me, I got hot, I'm sweating. I'm like, all right, you got me, nah. And then it was over.
So
with.
probably was the training that you got working the jobs and getting the leadership.
Bro,
role.
it was honestly, it
Yeah.
was football. Taught me respect. Taught me, you know what I'm saying,
Teammates.
channel regret. Yeah, for real. And then, you know what I'm saying, you playing football, like you, I don't think clouded, but it's just like people respect you more because you're part of the organization.
Right.
And you have like it's not just me. You talking crazy to me. It's 40 other people sitting right here. Like you're not gonna disrespect all of us sitting right here. Like that's crazy. Like, and if I start losing, somebody gonna jump in.
Right.
You got me messed up. So I
I'm
mean,
not in this.
for sure, like that's gang right there. So I mean, that's what I feel like. Really, like football is really like settled me down
Yeah.
a lot, and just put things in perspective a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like help me like put more of a value on education too. Cause I'm like, damn, like I'm nice, but my grades ain't that nice. So I gotta kind of like lock in on that to, you know what I'm saying, be able to do what I want to do at the next level. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like eventually I got it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like when I was a young boy, like I remember my first D. I was terrified.
When you were poke out?
Yeah, I remember that in 7th grade. I was like,
You was mad or you was afraid to take it home?
I was terrified to take it home. Cause I was like, damn, I know what's gonna happen. Like, this is the first. I've never gotten anything below like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then start taking harder classes and just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Challenge yourself.
Yeah, and it taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? It taught me how to really like lock in and how to like ask for help.
Yeah.
Cause I'm a real like stubborn person. I'm not asking for help. Like if I'm
Always trying to handle it by ourselves.
for sure, man.
I got you.
Nah, we never do.
I'm gonna lock in and I'm gonna figure it out. And if I don't figure it out, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Amen.
For sure. All right, you ain't say nothing the whole time. Say
I
something.
was rapping y'all life story. What you want me to say?
We'll have no
I
love.
was dead, but damn, bro. Did you have a topic though?
That was the group topic that you had
Oh, for
earlier.
sure.
I mean, like,
Wait, other than the t-shirt printing.
So the t-shirt company is called Sports Heaven Brand. We got an Instagram called Sports Heaven. You can follow us. Sports Heaven Brand. So like I said, my parents started when I was a young lad, and you know, it just kind of stuck with me. My brother's still into it. My dad and mom is still into it. And so every family member that I'm really close to worked at the store at some point, worked in the business somehow. So it's been a part of the family. It's still a part of the family. But being in that business, you realize that you're only as good as your last invoice. So if there's no new influx of clients on a daily basis, then there's no income.
You always stay where you're at.
Yes.
You don't.
So that led to us doing other businesses. So I have a clothing line as well. Clothing line is called Ambition FTP. Yeah, we won y'all first season. I think we won first season, right? That is now called Ambition _FTP or Ambition FTP if we're not talking Instagram language. And the FTP stands for the people. So for me, the word ambition, you know, for some from afar, not just for me, would say it's about getting money. And I wanted to backtrack that because I was ambitious about being a father, being a good husband, being a leader in my community. It went money is not I don't wake up, how much money can I make today, you know? But I still have ambition, it's just, money ain't at the top of the list. So, and I know there's people who, money ain't even on their list. So I wanted it to be for the people because it's not for me, it's not for money, it's for the people. So whatever you're ambitious about, I want my clothing line to speak to you. I want you to wear it and remind you that I gotta be ambitious today because there's some things on my heart, some things I wanna go after, some things I wrote down December 31st that I was like, these things gotta happen in 23. I wanted a clothing line that could speak to that person that is never gonna give up, been doing something in the dark, trying to get in the light. I want a clothing line I have a clothing line that motivates that person. And that's pretty much why I'm here today, because I'm motivated by people who do podcasts, because it's a platform for you, it's a platform for me, it's for somebody that you know to hear something I say, and for somebody I know to hear something you say. Because we never know how that cross-pollination is going to spark off a
melding of the minds.
And it always elevates, not just the listeners, it elevates all four of us at something. We're going to leave here and remember something. One thing that was said that we heard just going to give us more ambition and keep pushing for whatever it is that maybe have been dormant or maybe something we're really going for every day. But this is always an opportunity to elevate people. So that's two of the things I do. I could keep going on and on because the most important thing for me is relationship, and relationships sometimes pull you into opportunities that you're not built for as far as being the leader of it, but being a brick that's a part of the house. I could give you rundowns of things where I'm a part of the building, but I'm not the building or the leader. So
I feel that. Man, one thing that you said that resonated with me, and it's something that I say all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has like somebody that's like a higher up or whatever. And sometimes like when I talk to the higher ups, they go, yo, like you did this, that, and the third, like you killing it like this, that, and the third. Like when it's review time, like, you know what I'm saying, when it's bonus time, I'm just like, that don't really do it for me. Like the money aspect there, it's cool, like it's straight. But for me, you knowing, I'm knowing, and the rest of the district, the region, whoever know that I'm the best, that's cool. That's what I want. Like that's what I just want to be number one in the region, in the fleet, whatever. Like if I'm at the top 2, top 3, and then cool. Let me talk to these 2 top 3 people and let me see, hey, what are you doing for this? You know what I'm saying? Like these are some of the challenges I'm running into. Like how are you navigating these challenges, if at all? Or like what are some of the challenges you have so that like when I do get to your level, you know what I'm saying, like I know how to navigate that with as little, you know what I'm saying, resistance as possible. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that I do. Like so people that have been in my spot or like, you know what I'm saying, are currently in my spot, like you know what I'm saying, like I definitely love to like people still say link and build. Like,
It's okay if you say it.
Well congregate and elevate ourselves. I'll put it like that.
I know what they ain't doing is wearing them damn shacks no more.
Definitely.
You're not doing that. That's
But
not.
yeah, so that's one thing, man. I can dig that for sure. Definitely, man. Shoot.
No, honestly, it's beauty in what you just said because it's like an internal thing that you ain't letting go of. Like you're not letting the culture or letting the things around you. Because if your boss keeps throwing money, sometimes, like you were saying about the quarterback, like or professional athletes, period, like they know they're putting their body at risk. But could it be that the checkbook is big enough for me to risk either being alive or having quality of life when this career is over? And I can't make that. I've never been at the table where someone said, "Here's $300 million to run our team at quarterback." So I can't say what I would do. But for you to say, you know, no offense, you ain't making $300 million at what you're doing, but you still holding on to, you know, your character. That says a lot to say. The things that motivate me, boss, you can move that money out the way. I want to compete and get to know people who are at my level and above because what motivates me is the challenge of being better. That's
definitely. And that's why they, you know what I'm saying, at my current job, like they will like send me, hey, you gotta go to Detroit. I need you in Detroit. I need you in Ohio. I need you here because, you know what I'm saying, I am one of the best in the company. Like, and they know that.
right.
And I'm waiting for somebody to get moved somewhere else so that I can move up.
I think what's gonna happen is somebody like Apple gonna come across your desk and say, you know what, we saying you've been consistent over here, because that's what happens. Apple, Google, one of these Fortune.
All right. So when I was working in DC, they had at the spin joint, we had a big like we had to close the venue down because Google had a party at our venue. It was so fun. It was
a restaurant.
It's like a ping pong social club. That's what they call it. So you like ping pong tables everywhere, and like
Free promo.
big bars.
Speed dating type ping
We
pong.
did speed dating too there. It was kind of crazy.
You said social. Is it like a bar? Like
It's like
It's a bar there. Yeah, it's a
Almost
It's
bar.
like Dave and
Type
Buster's,
thing.
but without
Man.
all the arcade games,
It's
just
only
ping
ping
pong
pong.
tables. Right.
Yeah, and they had like a big Atari Pong joint. It was crazy. That joint was
is it
So
still
you
alive?
drinking ping pong.
Is it still open?
I think so. They only open like Tuesday to Saturday. Every Sunday, Monday they close.
So this is some real Illuminati type. You got to be on the list to get it.
If
Like,
you know, you know. It's one of the,
Yeah.
if you know, you know.
There's no
but
commercials.
Never.
You got to know from a member.
You got
Yeah, you gotta
somebody
know. That
told
joint's-
you.
And what is it like
TikTok.
$300 a month to be on this list? Like,
Nah, it's like. It's
I know it ain't $15 to get in type thing.
It's 50 an hour.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you got that type of business for 4 days, you
Okay.
going.
I'll make a phone call. I'll get that for free, but yeah.
I'm married, so I don't need it.
It's
I
fine.
ping pong with
So you got the social ping pong
It's
already.
fine.
He's
It's not like half my shift was just me playing ping pong. Like, we BSing that job.
So you got hired somewhere else. You got fired. How you leave that gig? Not enough hours.
I got tired of DC parking, DC traffic,
Oh my god.
DC tickets. I got a
Trash.
$50 ticket just
Oh,
for
I can teach you how to scam a DC ticket.
man.
That ain't nothing.
You said just don't pay.
Son, he called
And
me
we
the
go full
scammer.
No, I got
Yeah.
one lane. I can scam DC tickets.
That's the one- that's
the
one.
one. And that's not really scamming. The scam is that you charge me this amount of money
Yes.
for running through a camera while I was going 15 miles
Ridiculous.
over. $200. That's
ridiculous.
you get 10 of those.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's
Nice
definitely.
chunk of change. But nah, I got like a $250 ticket, $250 ticket for almost being too close to the bus lane.
Parking.
Like, yeah, I was
Oh, I've
parked.
never got one.
I
of
hopped out. I was running late for work. I hopped out. All right, cool. Yeah, right across the street. Boom. I'm living right. Running there. Come back out. I'm like, what's that? Let's go. I like start my car from across the street. I walk up. I'm like, somebody doing napkin. I'm like,
Not the napkin.
I'm like, oh.
That's an expensive.
You paid it?
number.
I'm paid that thing. Cause
Better than me.
because I don't need no sauce
Right.
with nobody. I don't want no problems, man. That's one. I don't know. I try to do everything relatively on time. Relatively.
Yeah, nah. You can get out of those tickets.
For real?
Yeah.
Give me the secret
Teach
sauce.
us the ways.
For sure, you gotta get the secret sauce.
The main way is to stay out of DC. That's the main way.
That's why.
Number
Uber or Lyft into DC.
Fact number
So,
one.
I don't go over there no more. I rarely over in DC. It's 'cause
Not Metro?
I hate parallel parking.
Metro is cool, just not your car.
I love Parallel Parker. I'm so good at
It's
it.
not my strong suit.
Somebody else's
Really?
car is
I
on.
love Parallel Parker. I'm so good at
It's
it.
easy.
It really is.
Hey, much respect, my boy.
It
I
is
can
so
reverse park. I can forward park.
You just
Pull
gotta
in.
know your car. You know your car, you good.
I know my car first name and last name.
Right.
You name your car?
I have not.
You're a youngster, so you in 5 years you'll be
I named
good
my
at any
last
type
car.
of parking. You'll be good at.
Oh, I'm good. Oh.
Doug can't Parallel Park.
Nah. I'm good.
There's no- and
I'm
there's
good
no
for a minute.
excuse
I'm good
for it.
It's mad cameras in my car and everything.
I
There's
just started
literally-
trusting the cameras in my car. I'm like,
I don't
hold
even
on,
use those.
hold on. It might be a car that you're not showing me.
No.
It's
No,
nice,
I don't use
nice.
those to this day.
They always
There's
got
nothing-
Nah, I learned.
No, when I reverse, I
I
still
learned
turn.
with mirrors. I parked with mirrors. Like I'm not.
Nah, but I feel like I got scammed when I did my driving school. Cause the dude was like, man, you look, you straight. We don't even gotta do no parking stuff. We
You
good.
look like you could drive.
I stamped.
That's
That's verbal. I mean, I was,
That's
I
when you
was
tell
older
them,
than that.
wait
He
a
was like,
minute,
"No,
wait
you
a
good."
minute.
He's like, "No, you good. You
My
valid."
insurance
Let's just
rate
drive
might
around.
say otherwise, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Just cruise.
And that's how
Cruising.
some of these bad drivers got their license these days.
Most of them
And
don't
now,
have
And
it.
now I'm a speed
yeah.
racer.
That boy that can't Parallel
Now I'm
Park.
speed racing.
You the
so-
reason why
shit
people
on
got
the
them
car.
bumper bullies
Absolutely.
on their car.
Anybody in front of me should own the car.
There's no child left
You
behind.
slowing me down.
Each other left me behind.
That little bit.
You in the wrong lane.
They failed you every day since
Nah.
they failed them black.
No. They
No,
fail
no.
everybody else because they don't teach them in driving school that like
Some of
this
us
lane is for moving fast. This lane.
Yeah,
is
they
for-
don't teach you that.
You know, because
They're supposed
technically,
You should though, cause you on my way. Cause now I have to drive.
Yeah.
In certain cities, they do have signs.
Nah, for
In
sure.
certain cities.
no, yes,
Yeah.
it's
You
like
said
DMV
slower
is not
traffic
one of them.
move
To
to
the
the.
Yeah.
slow traffic to the
Some of them say minimum speed.
I think that's like going down south.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
I think I seen it in like North Carolina.
Yeah.
Them trips to Florida. I be seeing them things. Like, let's say no more. So, you know, speaking of Florida, though, you ready for Florida?
He's on the team as well.
Yes, sir.
What position?
Yes, sir.
I do it all. Besides quarterback, no. But primarily linebacker, and then now slot receiver.
Is this flag football?
Yeah.
How often you train?
As often as I can.
That
At
sound
least
like
3 times out of the week. And it's
What about
like
you?
with multiple teams, and then either myself or not.
How many days a week you train?
How many days? I mean, I try to do something every day. Like, even if it's just like something, like, you know what I'm saying? But like physically, like either going to the gym or going to the field, like I try to do at least twice a week. But everything else is just like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like this. I'll do this, right? We playing Call of Duty, right? I'm like, all right, boom, after every match, I'm gonna just like quick 25. We play like 10, 12 matches, but I'm still like, after every
25
match.
push-ups?
Yeah.
Push-ups?
Yeah, push-ups, I do like, all right, after every jump, I do 15 chin-ups. I do like leg lifts, I do something. Just so I'm staying active still, but just like, I'm still just jumping.
So you feel good about yourself as long as you do something every day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, once you start to get older, you start to notice like your body don't respond to workouts as fast as it used to. Like I could like go like a month without doing something, like when I was like 22, 23. And I hop back in the gym, and I'm just right back brolic. Like it's crazy. But now I'm 30, I'm like, I might go hit the elliptical or something. Like
You got to keep your body moving.
crazy.
30 hurts just a
Man, for sure, dog. So I mean, I just try to stay active as much as I can. But I was on the field today, did something a little light. It was raining, bro. Still just getting jiggy because, like, man, like when you go to these big tournaments, man,
Yeah.
it's like you any direction you look in, it's football, something like, you know what I'm saying, like somebody getting scored on, somebody. It's just crazy. It's pandemonium. I think it's my 5th time going down, so I'm excited. I'm excited. Like I'm just waiting for my cleats to be done. I might go buy some more stuff, like accessory wise, but other than that, man, I'm ready to go.
So what's the mountaintop, y'all? Is this the tournament? That's the mountaintop right here?
Yeah, this is the top of the top. It's called Worlds. So it's like
former NFL players will be there?
for sure, all the time. Like even though like one of the local leagues around here, like there's a lot of like practice squad or like ex-NFL dudes that like they be out there.
And this is flag. So you're not supposed to get tackled.
It depends on your format.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely 8-man. You could, I don't want to say you could get tackled, but like, if I could put my body on you and like almost hit stick you and pull your flag at the same time in this league.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I'm going for the flag and pulling it,
I hate that.
can,
I hate A
can
contact.
put you on your ass. So.
I don't like that. So I'm not a fan. I play 4. I primarily play 4s and 5s. 4 and 4 and 5 and 5. Like it's straight man coverage.
4 flag?
Mm-hmm. It's literally man coverage.
Straight dog.
So is this 4 receivers? That's not including the center and the quarterback.
Nah,
right?
so it's 4
Center can be a
quarterback,
receiver.
center, receiver, and the center can go for a pass too. So it's like literally it's 3 on 4 for real. But I mean, you gotta be A1. If you playing defense, like 4 on 4s and 5 on 5, like you like that,
It's a dog
or you
fight.
think you like that.
It's a dog fight every play.
That's too.
Man, I play corner, so I would say corner is the second hardest position in football, just based off of like IQ
Right.
and responsibility for real. Like it's just
Yeah.
next to impossible to be perfect at. I love it.
It's just
I love it. It is,
Cause like the
man.
person you're going against can like do so much. They can have so much in their bag, but
You gotta shadow them, right?
have to be on it. And then like I can't really explain it, but it's just like, right, the bag is extensive on the offensive side. You can do so much.
The skills are tipped in their favor exponentially.
And then like all you has to be is like one step off, and you're cooked.
Right.
So it's
Or
just like,
barbecue chicken.
So what's the mountaintop for y'all? Like obviously the tournament, but what's the driving force? Like once I get here, this is what I'm trying to. Or is it just a hobby that I'm just committed to?
So for me, man, I want to win. I want to win worlds. I know people who last year they won, like from Maryland, like a couple teams from Maryland they won, took home. I want to win, but I always tell myself, I say this publicly all the time, like I'm gonna stop playing when I either get 35 or another serious injury. Like then it's up. Like I've hyperextended my knees before, concussions before, like ankle
Still in the
sprains,
game,
everything, torn hamstring, like it's, you know what I'm saying?
Collarbone wasn't football?
Oh yeah, collarbone too. Yep. Dang. Oh, that was high school. I'm grown.
Broke your collarbone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got it
people
worse
go
than
through
you.
life without a
Now you playing a game with no helmet.
You could wear a helmet though. Not like a full on like pass NFL helmet, but like they have like these little crown padded helmets.
Y'all,
that you
y'all
can
clown the dudes that wear that?
I do.
I
I
do.
was gonna say, like,
Crazy.
too many accessories in any sport.
I mean,
You look
at first it's
crazy.
goofy, but then you think about it's like, especially in the light of what just happened, it's
For
like
sure.
I respect it. You don't want to be that. My brother. The reason my parents didn't want me to play football anymore was because my brother had gotten a concussion in the 7-on-7 tournament. They didn't have helmets out there.
Yeah.
It's nothing protecting you. So and then like the coaches, they didn't treat him like he should have been treated. So it was just like not gonna put myself in that position, and I'm not even in an organization. I'm on my own doing this as a hobby. I'm not gonna hurt myself. So I respect it.
I can take that. Damn, man. Damn.
I don't even wear one when I ride a bike. I'm just like,
Yeah, now
even with the injuries,
like
I
a-
gotta be
like a
cool
Huffy
though. I
or
can't
like-
get in the ambulance looking like,
Yeah.
if an injury is gonna happen, I need to be cool.
Hold on.
If an injury is
Not
gonna
if I
happen.
No.
I at least need
But
to
what
be
I'm saying,
cool
like
and
you said, a bike, like a
bicycle.
pedal bike, or
Yeah.
like
You in the city?
oh,
No.
I'm looking at a motorcycle. I'm not like,
Nah.
wow.
Nah.
I'm gonna say you go crazy.
Nah.
You know how to ride a motorcycle?
I don't. Nah. I had a cousin pass away on one. I'd never mess with a motorcycle.
Samesies. Yeah.
I go a bike. I'll skin my knee up, falling or scrape whatever.
That's
I'm not wearing no helmet though. That's just.
My shit, bruh, we came up in the era of razor scooters, man. Like
Those things
our shins are
were lethal.
tamper proof, man.
Like-
I want a motorcycle so bad.
I think
You
I
don't
got
think-
ridges in my shin from all the time
No,
I
and
got
Your
the,
daughter- your
the
daughter
pain
don't want
that
you to
just
get a
shot
motorcycle.
up my leg when you said that, hopping off that scooter too fast,
That's
that
that-
thing
yeah,
spun
that
around,
was like-
popped me real down.
I used to jump off curbs. You know the little curb when it ramps up a little bit?
Oh,
I used to jump off of those using that.
Ooh, them
I would put
things
like a little
hurt.
stick and I'd jump over the little stick. I thought I was bad.
Man, kids, man.
Boy.
So we got that.
We
elbow
find
scrape.
entertainment in anything as kids.
Boy, I thought
That was the fun part of
For
being
sure,
a
for
kid.
sure. Going outside,
That was the best part.
bruh. I was thinking about this, right?
Mm.
Let's say, I don't know, something happened. Internet gone for
I'm
like
outside.
3 weeks.
I'm outside.
Fool, let's play man. Like young, let me. Aaron,
We
come
play
here, we play
game.
man.
We
These
double
kids, these
dutch
young
it.
kids gonna go crazy.
Used
We
to
They don't
play
know.
with cousins.
Son, a lot of these kids was born in like this. Now this girl that I
2000.
work for me, she was like, "Y'all, I'm born in 03." I'm like, 30. Like
He was born in 03?
born
I
in
went to
03.
stage in high school
Like-
in 03.
I was like, damn.
Yeah.
What can I understand?
I know, bro. Time is.
Ooh, yeah,
Oh my
nah.
gosh.
So
I still feel good
I
though.
was like, damn, like they don't know life without internet. They don't know life without like a cell
Yeah.
phone. And I was like,
Tablet baby.
damn, they would
But see,
lose it.
It's not completely their fault though. I think parents, like electronics, handheld electronics, change the parenting game. What you mean I don't have to be in my kid's face all day? You said I could put this in front of their face, they're just gonna sit there and do what?
Yeah.
Oh, bet. So now that it was becoming convenient, now moms can go do what they need to do and dads can go do what they need to do and the kids are sitting wherever they're sitting and they're doing what they're doing. It became convenient. And you know what happens with convenience.
Yeah.
People abuse it.
Feel that.
And you know, us as adults too, like being a kid that was in between the two, right? So having
Right.
going from dial up to
Oh
Wi-Fi.
my god.
Oh, we was up. I said when we went from having to press every button
That was
to
my
text,
jump. I was going crazy.
my thumbs is still hurting.
No
me,
kids.
baby.
Yeah, with Snake on the phone.
No games.
Oh
like
my
to
God.
having like
Hell
endless.
yeah.
I can have any game I want on my phone essentially. Like any game I want on my phone. Like
I had
Yeah.
a razor.
so it's not.
Nah, you young.
broke a couple.
I had a
legs.
sidekick.
I broke so many.
I had a sidekick. I was that girl.
Oh, you
I had
you were
all
it
three.
if you had a sidekick.
I was the.
You had the black one?
Huh?
You had the black one?
I had the black one, but I had a black and purple
yeah,
zebra
yeah,
print
yeah.
skin
Oh,
over
nah,
it. Not the zebra print. It was, I mean, not for,
But the-
for me, it was zebra print. When I sit in class and I the thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's when it was
that
stuck.
that
They just
that gets you in front of the line of the club.
Yes.
and buy them.
But no, what people didn't know was I was just getting my mom's hand-me-down cell phone. So, so like, then she upgraded to like a Windows phone with the little stylus and stuff. So that's why I had the sidekick.
Stylist, that was like a credit score right there.
Now my mother, if you see my mother, you would see why I said what I said. She bougie.
Game changer.
That's probably how you got through that driving test. You was said your stylist, and you was like, I think I'm supposed to be here at 6.
I almost started texting during my job, like when I was driving around. But
Hey yo,
I couldn't do no wrong.
that's too
He
laggy.
banged with me. That was my man.
Wow.
He was cool.
My
I
driver's
blame
school was
him.
3
I
days.
think I passed Mr. Stop Sign on my driving test, and the lady was like, "You didn't see it? Okay, all right." I was like, "No, I didn't see it. It wasn't. I didn't see it." Yeah, I didn't see it. I was like, "Cool." All right.
Oh, you didn't see how I said it?
So I passed.
Ain't nobody wrong.
I've only been in 4 car accidents since, so she kind of did. She judged right.
I told you, most
I didn't cause it.
the men
That's
that I know have
four.
been in more car accidents than women I know, and somehow.
That I was driving.
I was driving for 20 years though.
I was only in one that I was driving. That I was personally
But
driving.
every time you play football, it's like a half a car accident, right?
Nah, maybe like a quarter.
And you excited about the accidents you gonna get in next week?
Oh, for certain. Oh my god. I can't
Can't wait.
All right,
I cannot wait.
it's Florida, man. What you want me to do?
That's gonna be nice too. I'm so jealous. I never get it.
That's why when people say no pain, no gain, it's like so true. Like
Nah, that's facts.
if I look at my marriage, it's like if I don't go through the downs, then the ups I don't really appreciate it.
How long
Like,
you been married?
7 years. Yeah, so it's like the downs when you in them, you like, damn, I signed up for this. But when you come out of it, you like that makes the up so like.
What are your thoughts? Did you hear what Michelle Obama said?
I did.
What are your thoughts? Because I've talked to a lot of women about what she said, but I haven't talked to any married men about what she said.
I think what she said is real because it's at the end of the day, like my wife I was 30. I was 29 when we got married, but I turned 30 like 2 weeks later. So she was 28. 28 years of doing the same thing, living the same way, putting your ketchup in the fridge. I put mine
Oh
in
Lord,
the pantry.
Jesus.
When you get married, and we never lived together before marriage.
Okay.
We never even
Never
had
did that.
sex before marriage.
Oh wow.
So when you bring those two lives together, cold ketchup versus room temperature ketchup,
It don't hit the same.
But that's the least of your worries.
Right, that's the
But just
smallest
think
thing.
about how annoying that could be when you're used to
Doing something a certain way.
a certain way, and now this person who you either took their last name or you
Okay.
gave your last name, and you went in front of their parents, you went in front of God and was like, I will forsake all others.
I don't have water.
But my hamburger God is now it's cold
It's
because
cold. It's a
because
hamburger.
she or he like cold
Cold
ketchup,
ketchup.
and I'm used to room temperature. I like my tomatoes room temperature.
I got converted. I was the same. I was like, nah, room temp ketchup all day. And then this girl came through many moons ago, bruh.
So
I was
she left, but she left you with cold
She
ketchup.
left the gyms for me. She left the gyms right there.
That's not a
It
gym.
was right there.
It's not a
He's
gym.
letting
Look,
us know
but
that
look,
it's just
but
never
look.
been resolved.
Alright,
They
so
have
look,
two
no.
different containers of ketchup
You
in the
got
house.
hot fries, right? Bet it's locked. You locked in. You everything. You about to go crazy. You got my movie going. Boom. You dip your ketchup. You dip your fry in cold ketchup.
When you open that fry, I don't care how cold that ketchup is, the top of your mouth is going to get burnt by that ketchup stain.
That's fine. But it's still like a layer. It's like a
She
chicken
scams
layer.
you.
That's fine. I'm fine. Hey,
She scams
that's
you.
fine.
But what you saying is like, or what she said was like, you're not gonna always like the person. Like, if we talking about the same clip,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She was
You're
like,
not
it
gonna
was a
always
10
like the
year,
person.
10 years where she like did not like him. Like
That's
she just
crazy.
didn't. I think they've been married for like 30.
Yeah.
She's like, there was 10 solid consecutive
She's like, I
years
didn't like him.
where I didn't like him. And what she said was, and you know, she went more into it, but what she said was like, part of it was because, you know, they went from just being the two of them and they were just as cute and da-da-da to having kids.
Yeah.
And then when the kids get introduced, she was explaining like, well, now he's going off to work and he's going golfing with his friends, and she at home with the kids. Like, what you mean you golfing?
Right.
I don't even like golfing, but I want to go golfing. But I didn't because I did laundry today and I've been changing butts and I've been making meals. And her life started to look different while his somewhat looked the same. And then you tack on his you know, political pursuits and all of that. And so she's like, yeah, for like 10 years, our responsibilities look different and
Yeah.
There was
overnight. Is
yeah,
crazy.
it was like, and she was like, it's not because what she experienced, like, it's not that I didn't love him. She was like, the thing that kept her holding on was, do I respect him? Like, do I respect him as my husband? Do I respect him as a father? And if at the end of the day, whether I like him or not, whether I suck my teeth and I'm like, you get on my nerves, but do I respect what you're doing for this family? And can I stay down because of that? Because you're still showing up for us, even though what I'm carrying looks a little different than what you're carrying.
I'm gonna say, like, for me and my wife, like, the blessing, like I said, no pain, no gain. Like, my parents had a business where we would work sometimes till, on a Friday night, we might work till 2 in the morning and then have to be there again 7, 8 a.m. Saturday morning, just because of the industry we was in. And I'm not gonna say the industry, the strategy that we had, or maybe lack thereof, kept us there past the hours we should have had to been. But the industry we're in, we had to open early on Saturday, catch guys before they go to the field, they gotta get their tape, whatever.
Sure.
But that pain of, like, man, like, my friends going out, they texting me on my sidekick, and I can't go because I want to make the money for whatever I wanted, or I wanted to be there for my parents. At a later age, it was like, F the money, like, my parents need help, I'm here. And so when I started my entrepreneur endeavors, when I got married, it was like, I want a lifestyle where me and my wife can date while everybody else at work. So I say all that to say that I believe entrepreneurship is something that everybody should pick up, even if you know how to just make pound cakes, even if you just know how to book inexpensive trips. Whatever it is that's your thing and you can monetize it, you never know when that stream of income becomes almost like the lifeline for a marriage, because the fact that we can date while the kids are, well, we just had a baby 2 months ago, so she ain't, thank you. But the fact that we can date kind of, I mean, like, whenever, it gives that flexibility to say, I don't, and we have a hell of a support system by our parents. I think entrepreneurship and the mindset going into it has become a lifeline, like you said, not just a stream of income to take care of bills, but it's almost like it does provide a lifestyle that allows the marriage to say, how we gonna build the marriage, how we gonna build our life, not how we gonna pay these bills, how we build our life is like fourth on the list. It's first on the list. And there are people that's getting it like that and they don't have a business. They don't have but they're still entrepreneurs, even though they have a their mindset is, I'm building something for me. And I think that's what entrepreneurship. The moment you put your info on a resume, you're an entrepreneur. You're not selling the product is you.
Right.
So in my eyes, my personal eyes, everybody is essentially an entrepreneur. You look at how much you gotta make per month to keep your house afloat, and you decide $2,500 ain't gonna cut it. I need to get to $3,200, and you make that other $700. You're an entrepreneur.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if that's going to get another job, you've decided that this right here ain't gonna cut it. I'm gonna push the envelope some more. The person who withers down, to me, has not created their own lane. They're living off what someone else is willing to give them. To me, that's not an entrepreneur.
I had a conversation with someone once. It was a very interesting conversation. We were talking about me being like formerly college educated to the highest degree, and then them being an entrepreneur. And they were saying that he was saying that he feels like somewhere along, when Black people got their rights, right, the right to go to school, there was so much focus on school, education, that there wasn't enough attention on the Black people who did overcome racism and did overcome those struggles to create businesses, to create income for their family that wasn't reliant on what those people were willing to teach you in school. And because we got the freedom of school and that became a huge push, there was such a flood for every Black person to go to school. I know growing up, that's what my parents were banging in my head is, you need to go to school, you gotta get a degree, you gotta go to college. I was never taught about owning a business. Nobody said like, hey, here's how you hustle and get it on your own. I was always programmed to know that if I go to school and I get the degree, that's how I'm gonna afford my life. That's not true, because I'm in hella debt. Like debt that I will.
When you say educated to the highest degree, what do you mean by that?
I have a doctorate.
Oh wow, doc. Okay.
So
what's your name? My fault, dog.
Let me just call me Ace.
Ace Boogie. Paid in full. All right, my fault. Good.
But yeah, so and as a formerly educated person, I'm like, I'm sitting here.
I know, like
Like, I mean, like
what
because
happened? You forgot? I'm dead.
Anyway, so because I'm like, I don't have like the street. I'm not like I didn't grow up that way, right? So like everything that I'm book smart. I'm not street smart. I wasn't taught that stuff. I went straight for education. So like knowing how to like start my own thing or wanting to get like I have ideas that I want to get started, but that wasn't what was poured into me. Education was like schooling, like because and I said formal education because people get educated in different ways, and I want to knock that, right? Like entrepreneurship, I'm not educated in that, but there are people who are killing it.
Yeah.
So he was basically saying like, you know, with such a push for people to go to school and get for Black people to go to school and get educated, there was such a loss in conversation about entrepreneurship, about owning your own businesses. Until honestly, I would say until recently did the conversation of generational wealth come up for Black people, and that really became a huge push. I know social media has created a huge platform for entrepreneurship, like getting it out there. Just like somebody that was selling plates and was posting a picture on Instagram, and somebody was like, "Oh, make me a plate," and now they're making
Plates with food on it.
Food,
Oh,
right?
wow,
Plates,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and now they're, you know,
I told you I got the older crowd watching, so.
I'm sure.
Plates
I don't
of
think we
food.
just selling China, right?
Plates of food, yes. Like somebody that we went to college with, he I don't know if, like completely the steps he took, but I know that he started like switching his eating habits and eating vegan, and he was posting it, and other people started asking him to like, you know, hey, can you bake me something? I want to try something. I'm trying to switch vegan, and so he started doing it that way. And now I think recently I saw him on like somebody else has like a cooking show kind of thing, kind of like interview cook kind of thing, and he was on there, just simply from him minding his business and posting his food, and somebody saying like, hey, what's that? How you do that? What if I paid you to do that for me? You gonna pay me? Who else would pay me to do this? And boom. So I think that part too. I'm enjoying seeing us like there's an equal bit now of people like pursuing entrepreneurship and not feeling pressured or feeling like they missed out because they didn't go to college.
Yeah.
And people who are because we still need people doing it that way too, because we need Black doctors, and we need, you know, like there's 4% of Black women hold doctoral degrees, or 4% of the people that hold doctoral degrees are Black women, right? So we need Black people in those areas. We need Black people at school, but we also need like businesses and people who can teach that stuff to people in our community. Because how does these communities keep this stuff in? Like really? Like
Mentorship.
Somebody starts it off, and then they literally are just passing it down.
Yeah.
The laundry mats, the all the stuff.
Yeah.
And it's people not from I see it all the time, people not from our community that have businesses that service our community.
Yeah.
And make generational wealth.
Selling us things that we want.
With as much
The
of us
current
are
no, but for our team.
which is much of us that are athletic, even when we talking about the football, we don't even have like the health side of, like you talking about with the concussion, like if this segment of people are always into sports, then there should be stuff for post-retirement. There should be, you would think, right? Someone would come up with that, something to give us that. But,
And I did for him.
so you want to be an entrepreneur, or?
It is something that I would like to do. And I thought I was going to break into it by way of my career, right? Owning my own business, doing what I do. I'm a therapist.
Mental health therapist?
Mental health.
Okay.
Mental health therapist. So I figured, you know, I own my own practice, but my passions are shifting elsewhere. I'm a little burnt out from therapy. So I don't know what that looks like now, but I know that this ain't it. Like this answering to like people and killing myself for a job 40 hours a week,
right.
and barely. This is not what y'all promised me when y'all told me to go get the doctorate. That's not what y'all promised me. Y'all didn't promise me this, and I'm not gonna keep doing this like this. Especially for the two that I had, like my two boys. Like I want them. I don't want them to feel locked into just one path. Like I want them to be like, you know, I want to do a whole bunch of stuff. Like I want to try some stuff.
That's how my parents did me.
Yeah, like
me, yeah, they put school and all this other stuff, but like they never like failed to support me in anything that I did. father till this day tells me that it's okay to have a career change, and like as a person who
Good
is
job, Dad.
yeah,
No, for real.
Like,
Facts.
as a person who is like able to do like pretty much anything that I get into well and then excel in it, it's easy for me to fall in love with it at the same time. It's like, no, I don't know what to do, and like I want to do this, I want to do that, but I gotta pick one, and then they'll support me in it, whatever I pick. So yeah,
Y'all are really team clutch.
Come on, man.
Appreciate it.
Come on,
Just,
man.
y'all only talking. Y'all ain't.
That's it.
There ain't no script behind the camera. This is cameras that y'all. This is like you just speaking from the heart.
Straight up.
I'm older than not all y'all combined. I'm older than all of y'all.
You'll say, don't do that to yourself.
I'm not.
Jeez.
I ain't. But like, I read something in the book that said like, not what would I say to my younger self? What would my younger self say to me?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's to me that's more powerful because the younger version of me was creative, more creative. Like you put a bill in an envelope and tell me I got to pay it by a certain date. Even though I know I can pay it, it's still a level of panic because the money I work for, I got to give for either the service, this punk ticket in DC. Like I got to give you my money. The creative 15-year-old me would probably be like, how can I who can I get the money from so I don't have to?
So I gotta.
You know what I'm saying?
Like this one.
And not saying from an immature standpoint, just from a straight creative standpoint, this ain't gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So hearing y'all talk, like, it reminds me of the younger version of me who took more risks. Not of me, but the part of me that I have, you know what, I'm cool right here. Like, it's different areas I can see in my life right now where I ain't taking enough risks. Just by hearing Team Clutch talk about everything y'all talked about. It's like, yo, you gotta, I don't want to be at my own funeral. I'm gonna be there, obviously. But I don't want to be there like, man, I should have. Dog, if I would have, I could have sponsored everybody in here funeral if I would have just worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be at the end of the road looking back like, I left some stuff on the road.
My biggest fear in life, no matter who asks me this question, no matter what the context is, whether we just playing a game or it's an interview, my biggest fear in life is being stagnant.
Yeah.
Being stuck. Like, I never want to hit a point in my life where I feel like I've done all there is to do.
Yeah.
I've learned all there is to learn. Like, obviously, in my older age, that's the piece I want to know.
I feel that.
I did almost everything, if not everything I came here to do. But, like, at this time, I never want to say, like, yeah, you know what, I'm a good enough mom.
Right.
Like, I'm a good
work
enough.
in progress.
Right. Because I feel like once you hit that point, you stop trying.
Right.
Like, if I say, okay, I want to make it to level 10, I make it to level 10, I just stop. I don't even care if it's 10 more levels to go. I said I want to go to level 10.
That's what the ego set in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you like start the camp.
So I feel like
just my area.
To that point of like, what might my younger self say to me now? Stop being so afraid.
Right. Yeah.
Like, stop being so afraid to take the risk. Because when he was young, he was like, well, I don't know where it's
Right.
gonna go.
Like you said about your boys, like I'm jumping off this bed, injury or not,
break it or not, well, I'm doing it. Right. So
So
I feel like that's what my younger self would say is like, what are you so afraid of? Because you didn't know what college was gonna be like, but you still went.
and me from a spiritual standpoint, I'm a Christian. My father is a pastor.
man, you gotta speak up. Listen, I got a bunch of Christians that's probably listening. That's probably like looking at us like that ain't no
I ain't
real
say nothing
Christian.
about God yet.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
We did.
but-
Say it again. I'm a Christian. Say it again.
I am a Christian. Like,
I like
I'm never ever going to be afraid to say it or show it because come on now. But like one thing about telling my younger self is that like not just be afraid because you're afraid to do it, but like understand that God is going to have your back 100% no matter what. Like in any endeavor that you take on. So it's just like you have to lean on him, be able to lean on him, depend on him. And like a lot of things in your life, it's not going to be in your hands. And it's scary, but it shouldn't be
Right.
because they're in his hands. So
Man.
Today.
Bro.
How you know a scammer?
So look.
Christians don't know.
So look.
sometimes Christians have low points in life. I'm joking.
So look, now it's crazy you said that, right? So one of my favorite quotes of like all time, and it's like I always see it at New Year's because I posted it like however many years ago on New Year's on Instagram, and it like always popped up again. And I saw it like 2 days ago, and it was like, whenever God wants you to grow, you know what I'm saying, he'll make you uncomfortable.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And that just like,
Right.
cause like, you know, like comfortability is like complacency. Like, I'm
Mhm.
comfortable. I don't want to do that because I might be uncomfortable with like this, that, and the third, or trying to learn something new. And it's just like, me personally, I don't mind being uncomfortable. I don't mind being bad at something because I know like the amount of like mental work, physical work I'm gonna put in to like catapult myself above everybody else is gonna be like well worth it. And, like being uncomfortable for a while, like not being the best. Like it's uncomfortable not being the best for me, like or not being in competition of being the best. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just makes me like, dang, like. Okay, my dog might not want to lick me like when I get home. My dog might want to run away from me. Like that's crazy, but it's just like being uncomfortable and like being comfortable being uncomfortable is like something I go for. So I'm all for it. Like that's why like if a job inconvenience me or do something crazy to me, I'm all at y'all. All right, bet. And then I'll be uncomfortable in a new spot, and then I'll be the best over there. But then
Figure it
straight
out.
like that, more money.
Yeah, because even if you are uncomfortable, even if you are afraid, even if you are nervous, whatever the case is, you don't know what's going to happen when you show up. Like you don't know why you're being called to that space, and if you allow those things to stop you, you may be stopping yourself from getting the exact thing you need or fitting into that new space that'll fit just fine, right?
So the unknown.
Yeah.
The unknown.
And we are. I mean, but everything we do is unknown. Literally.
You never know.
From the first moment you are born into this world, you don't know nothing. I'm watching my kid in real time go from blubbering and snotting and pooping all over himself to sounding out words without my help.
It's crazy.
Like, what is this word? And he's like, z and g, zag. Wow. Reading sentences, 3-letter words, but he's reading sentences.
Yeah, that's dope.
And when I told him like, hey, you're gonna go to school, he's like, oh, school, friends, fun, like snaps. Like, boy, math, reading, words. And he came home and he was like, you know, he was frustrated the first couple of weeks because he didn't get it and he didn't know what he was doing. But he kept going. He ain't no choice. But he kept going. And then he came back and he was like, oh, mommy, 2 + 2 is 4. And this is what that looks like. I'm gonna draw 2 circles here and 2 circles here. See, that's 4. And now he's doing subtraction, and that part never stops. It's just we become more aware of what's on the other side of not knowing.
For sure.
And so and then we're able to back ourselves out of it because your mom can't force you to go to school anymore. So I would ask myself, like, what are you so afraid of? Which is why I'm like switching career paths now. Cause I was gonna stay. I was unhappy and I was gonna stay. Oh, I was gonna stay.
I don't know. Like that's crazy. I like it. So what would your younger self tell you? I don't know. Probably crazy. But I know what I would tell my younger self. So I felt like, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger, I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I was just like young and just like talented or whatever. And I was just like, all right, that's good enough. You know what I'm saying? But I would have told myself like focus on like putting more work into the talent. You know what I'm saying? Just keep working hard, bro. And then don't be afraid to be a leader. 100%. Don't be afraid of leadership. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, like when I was younger, getting into a leadership role was so, I felt like it was like the weight of the building on my body. Like it was just like, it was so much. And I felt like I was so timid at first. But now like it's like, dang, if I'm not the leader or something, it's like interesting.
What about your mom?
Interesting. Okay. But I mean like now like being a leader of like work and everything like that, and like I just feel like, dang, like it's fun. Like,
but it's like you're almost saying like, not from a selfish standpoint, but you always got a leadership ego. Like, why am I not leading? Not like I'm not okay not being first. I could be second, third, 10th in command, but I believe in me so much. Why I'm questioning in this moment, why am I not believing? Is that what you're saying? Like, why am I not leading?
For me, I have no problem following, as long as I feel like my leader isn't going to sacrifice me at, like, you know what I'm saying, to try to save them. Like for me, as a leader, I feel as though like if I'm leading you and I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm in command, or I'm in charge or whatever, if I'm responsible for you, bro, I'll do whatever just to make sure you're good. Like I put the team above self, above me personally, just because you're in leadership, that doesn't mean that like you're the most high. Like nah, that means like I'm just responsible for like y'all success.
So if you got somebody in your squad who's better at I'm thinking and pieces.
For
They
sure.
just better at organizing the dough, laying it out. And you like, you know what? We're gonna let such and such run this part. I know
That's
it's
the dough man.
normally for the leader, but such and such is better. I'm gonna let them do it. Yeah.
Zero problem. And that's you know what I'm saying. That just comes to like you gotta put your pride aside, man. Like I'm not that prideful. Like I just, if somebody better than me, you better than me at that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gonna keep it real specific. You better
Can't
do
do
that.
that.
This.
I'm gonna cut
But-
these green peppers.
For sure,
Everything.
for sure. But yeah, nah, I mean, I don't know, like just being a leader and like having people like come to you for advice and the problems, and you know what I'm saying, like being able to like really like be a role model for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I feel like that is like the best thing. I don't know people that work for me like in like 2012. And they like, bro, like I get a reference. I'm like, I mean, I guess, but.
You still got my number?
No, it'd be Facebook Messenger. You know? I mean, like, all right, sure, bro. Like, just let me know. Or like, young kids fresh out of high school that don't know nothing about nothing. They don't know nothing. And you know what I'm saying? Now they like show up and they would do whatever you tell them to, just because they respect the hell out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the cool part. You know what I'm saying? One of my young boys. He gotta remind me of you. Like, no funny. He really do remind me of you, but he's just like this little scrawny string bean of a dude.
Level 0 scammer.
For sure. For sure. And he just, bro, he just like, he be like, yo, you about to go home? You not working with me tonight? I'm like, nah, bro. He's just like, damn, I like working with you. Like, when you hear, like, I know, like, I'm gonna be good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else, like, they might not look out for me. They might just, like, leave me by my dolo. Like, but you gonna make sure I'm straight. You gonna make sure he's straight. Everybody good at the same time. Like, and I like that about you. Hello, young boy,
It's
man.
not good for a man to be alone, right?
Nah, I mean, it depends. It'll teach you how to be independent, though.
But I'm just saying, like, the reason why people are,
Socially?
you can see people like reaching for you
Mm.
is because, like, when your son going to school, he look, oh, I see my friends. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's a connection, you know what I'm saying?
Bye, Mom.
When it ain't no friends in there,
He'll run out the
What
when
am I
he's
doing?
that's actually very
Yeah.
true. When he's the
It's gotta
first
be
person in
one
the
person.
classroom, and I walk out because most days he's unbothered. He sees his friends, he sit down, mind his business, get his breakfast. But if he's the first one in the classroom and I walk out and I don't say bye, that boy is bolting down the hall and he's giving me a hug because
the connection.
of that. Yeah, I did substance abuse treatment for a little bit of time, and one of the sayings that came out of there is the opposite of addiction is not recovery. The opposite of addiction is community. And I actually took that and I put that everywhere else. I think the opposite of most of our negative, unhealthy, unhappy experiences are not the better side of it. It's the community. It is
Right.
the people coming together. It is the people surrounding you. It is reaching out. It is reaching back. It's staying connected. Like that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Shoot, spit.
Y'all Christians, y'all on it.
Nah,
We get Christian Mingle, we got Christian Scammer.
Nice. He ain't going to entrepreneurship, man.
ChristianScammer.org.
I like that. Yeah.
I'm a little
Christian
holy,
scammer.
and I'm a little
You
hood.
about to go to the notes. Like, scammer.
A little holy and a little hood.
LLC. Yeah.
We're
I'm
good
with
to
that.
go.
If I see the merch on Instagram tonight, I'm gonna be like, yo, this is
I'm gonna cut you a piece. I got you, bro. Oh,
Yo, so
Yeah.
the opposite of addiction is community.
The opposite of suffering, I think, is community. I think if I think about almost every
Damn. It's like that.
unpleasant thing that I've experienced and what has brought me out of it. Yeah, I took time to myself and, I got my feelings together, but I didn't start feeling good again until
Some people wrap
the
their
coming
arms around
together,
it.
right?
So that's why like an
You-
AA meeting is
If you think about funerals, everybody shows up to a funeral like devastated and prepared to cry and all the things, and then by the repast,
we hungry.
when you eat and you talking and you laughing and you joking and you're back to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I feel that.
I feel like if you go to a funeral and you leave and you don't go to the repast and you don't have that reconnect part, like you in your car crying on the way back home, you
Same
back in your
feeling.
bed and the blanket back over your head, and so yeah,
So people matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, so say the quote. Okay, hold on. Let me.
Nah, 'cause that was wicked. Like I like the way she broke that down. Like the quote itself is crazy, but
I get y'all Instagrams off. Like with
For sure.
that was
But you know, that's probably like the biggest takeaway career wise was that. Cause I'm sitting in there and I'm telling them the stuff that I'm learning. I'm saying it to them, but like I'm having this like out of body experience. Cause I'm like, wait, what? The opposite of what is what? Well, wait a second. Cause when I'm upset, I call my mom. When I'm having problems with so and so, I'm calling my friends.
Community.
Every time.
Maybe I need to work on that. I feel like I need to work on it myself then. Cause like whenever something's wrong with me or like I feel like something's not going awry or whatever, I really just kind of just
Shut down.
I just lock in like
Box yourself in.
like
He isolates, yeah.
for sure. And it, like it's irritating because I hear my dad say this thing he say to me all the time. I'm like, no man could be an island. No man could be an island. And I just be like,
Wow.
yeah. And I when I was younger, I'd just be like, whatever.
Watch this.
I'm reading out.
I'm like, what?
I'm gonna shut down corner, Dad. What you talking about?
Hey, tell to stop playing.
Hey,
But no, it's so annoying. Like when your parents' proverbs come back and it's like, oh no,
they be weird.
that was snapping.
Full circle.
That's something I always noticed though, but I never like heard a saying like that. So I'm glad I heard it because
Which one? Reeves Island or?
oh no, not,
No, you talking about the
yeah, the
one?
community.
Yo, that
Because
I'm
now
like,
I'm
community
piecing it
one's
to like a lot of things and like realizing that a lot of things are connected. Like a lot of issues that people go through from day to day are like connected with like community and like. I recently had a teammate pass because of suicide and like it was just like nobody knew what was going on and like it was just imagine if you had the chance and like as somebody who's been through like depression, the deepest parts of depression myself is like imagine if you had somebody to talk to or like somebody to relate to. Like the feeling of having somebody that knows what you're going through is very like life changing.
Give you something to live for.
Yeah, like just like the very fact that somebody knows that I'm going through the same thing or that they've been through it is just like I have somebody to, keep me here. You know what I'm saying?
Even sometimes like I think about like because we talking now. I think about when I'm in that space. Sometimes I don't even need you to show up and say nothing. I just need a person there with me. You don't have to say anything. Just your presence is good enough. So yeah.
Yeah, my wife hit me with that. I was like,
It sounds crazy.
But you keep talking, and I got answers. I don't need the answers right now.
Yeah.
I
I
just
need
need
you
you
to just
to
listen. And I was like, but I got, I had to learn, like you said, you just got to be there for the emotional release of.
Mm-hmm. And then and when people want the answers, they'll come for the answers. But people always want to know what's the magic of therapy, like what makes it work. Listen. That's all. That's my job. I actively listen to people, like genuinely listen to what people are saying,
Right.
and help them figure out what they want to say, but they're too afraid to say, or they don't have the words to put to it. But listening. My clients would come in and talk the whole hour, and all I had them with really, yeah. I imagine that did make you angry. Like this is real. This is. I would sound like this the entire session, and I'm genuinely listening, but they don't need anything from
Can you
me.
give a report at the end to like guide them?
I'll say so. So with everything that you talked about this week, how do you think that you want to do things differently next week, or what do you think you should try? Next
So you
week?
make them give you.
Yeah, no, my job.
Or
Let
make
me
them
tell
give
you.
them on their own solution.
Yeah, the job of a therapist is not to give you the answer. That is a
Pull it from-
huge
It
misconception.
has to be a lot of self
It-
realization going on.
yes,
there. You got to be real with yourself.
Because if I say, okay, you come in, you say you have this problem, right? And I say, okay, well, when you go back home, say this to your wife. And you say that to your wife, and she go upside your head. Oh, you back in my office the next week, like, I did what you told me to do. She went upside my head, right? So now I'm creating more of a problem, and it gets pinpointed on me.
Right.
Versus saying, okay, well, you described this issue. We've identified how you felt about it. We've identified how the other person felt about it. Having this information, what could we do differently? How could we look at this differently? What could you say differently? Is it your tone? Is there a way to express your frustration to them without using all these? Like, it's to pull that person to help them figure it out, because I don't want to work with you forever. Like my client in the first session, my clients come in. It's like the foundational session. I tell them, I'm like, my goal, work me out of a job. I want you to fire me. I want you to get so good at managing your own mental health that you don't need me anymore.
Right.
You're not supposed to. I'm not a car. I'm not a car. You're not supposed to need me everywhere you go. The job is teach you how to work through it on your own. Give you the tools and the skills. And then you go out and you do it. People get confused and they get dependent. And that's why you're like, oh, I've my therapist for 10 years. And I'm like, why have you been saying that? What have you been working on
Y'all
for 10
just
years?
talking.
Yeah, at this point, you coming in, you're like, yeah, I had an argument at work. I'm like, yeah, so did like 1.8 billion other people have an argument at work. Like that's not a mental health issue. That's just a human issue. That's just a being a person issue. You know, I don't do nitpicky therapy. That's not beneficial because now I'm just teasing out the things that make you a person. Oh, I got mad this week. Cool, do it again. That's your homework. Go get mad about something else. I want to know that you're a real person. Like, so, nah, fire me. Fire me.
Do you ever feel like it's like you're like tired of like taking on the weight of
Yes.
other people?
When I said I was burnt out,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I'm about. I am burnt out. I am. Me and life, we got a little thing going on right now. We're trying to figure it out for real. So having to manage my own life stuff while also being present enough, not just for one client, but 12 clients, 14 clients, however many clients, and their stuff. It's not. I'm running out of room. Like if I'm a container for all their stuff and my stuff is taking up too much. And to do my job, for me to be ethically and morally sound, I have to remove myself because I know that I need to give 100% for me and my kids right now. I don't have any to spare for other people. And it sucks because I've dedicated so much of my life to pursuing this exact thing. And it took a lot of tears to make the decision that I made, but things are aligning in a way that I think that this is the exact step I'm supposed to take, right? It got uncomfortable. And I was trying so hard to stay in that box. I was trying with everything in me and I couldn't figure out like why am I crying? Why am I screaming? Why do I feel so lost? And then I was like, I think I'm gonna leave my job. Yeah, and then I got the interview for that's coming through, new job coming through.
For sure.
Congratulations.
That's right.
I'm excited.
For sure, that's right.
You feel the same way?
I mean, for me, one of the worst things that could happen to me is somebody like bombarding me with like their emotions unintentionally without asking me like, hey, like, can I talk to you real quick? Like, just like, hey, what you doing? Nothing. Bro, well, I just I'm just like, oh no, like, oh,
You're not even talking about work
trick.
trips.
I'm talking in general. In general, like at work, I'm getting paid to talk to you. You just whatever. You tell me, all right, cool. Look, this is what you want to do. All that stuff don't matter. Right, what matter right now is locking in and just performing at your best that you are able to right now. And then you just get them to just like lock in and then compartmentalize it a little bit.
So you're a therapist too?
It's a little bit. I mean, it just
Because you're helping them manage their emotions.
for sure. Manage emotions and just your mind state for real. Like even like people who are like at the same level as me or like even higher. Like I like look, I understand. I hear you. I understand. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Just like relating to them if you can, and then just listening to them, and then just teaching them like, hey, like right now, this needs you, or this needs your attention right here. So we just gotta like really lock in on this, and then we circle back. You'll feel a sense of accomplishment if you actually, you know what I'm saying, stepped out of your emotions and just locked in and knocked out whatever you had to knock out, and then hey, we can feel this later on. It's still gonna be right here. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be here tomorrow. You know, so we can just circle back to it. You'll feel better just because you accomplished something. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's like, yo, I feel a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? You got me out of my emotional space, blah blah blah. Like,
That's a real therapeutic skill. That's a real. I tell my clients all the time. Like you don't
Getting out of your emotional, what is it called?
get out of their emotions right now.
Not necessarily that part, but the doing something. So like my depressed clients who are like, oh, I've been in the bed for such amount of days and I don't feel like doing anything. I'm like, okay, that's valid. You're depressed. You don't feel like doing anything. I'm not gonna make you do anything that is going to be like super tedious. However, I do want you to get out the bed and take a shower. You can put back on your most comfy PJs if that's what you want to do. I'm fine with that. But I at least want you to get out the bed and take a shower. And, you know, if it's my teenage girls, I'm like, throw in a little makeup. Nothing too crazy, just your whatever you do for your everyday makeup, put that on. And now I want you to move yourself from your room to your living room. You can still lounge around and watch TV, but just do it in your living room. Just to break it up. Because if you know how easy it is to do that? Just stay there,
Yeah,
depressed,
I've been there.
do nothing,
I've been
not
depression.
shower, not take care of
I
yourself.
don't know about the not shower on purpose.
And when it gets
That's
bad,
crazy.
fun fact, if you don't shower for long enough, that is cause for you to be involuntarily committed because you are not taking care of yourself.
Crazy.
So that is if you go enough days without.
Somebody needed to hear that because they probably on like day 19.
No, seriously, seriously.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I'll tell them to do something in spite of. So I'm depressed and I'm still going to get up and I'm at least gonna shower. Because maybe when you get out the shower, you're like, you know what? I don't feel like putting on PJs. I don't want to put on a cute outfit. Or I want to put on something. I had this thing that I looked at and I haven't worn it anymore. I want to put that. And that might be the thing that changes your perspective. And maybe you go downstairs and you haven't been downstairs in days and you see your favorite snack sitting on the counter. So now you're at least snacking on something. Your body's like, oh, is that food? Oh, we need more of that. So now you're hungry. But if you stay there, it's not gonna look any different, right?
Sure.
People are like, if you're going through hell, why would you stop in hell? Like, if you're depressed, why would you stop in the depression? If it's true that you don't want to be depressed. If you want to be depressed, you'll stay there. You'll stay in there. There's no motivation to get out of it. But if you don't want to be depressed, depression's not just gonna be like, all right, well, this was fun. It's been a great time. I'm gonna peace out. I'll see you again in like 4 weeks. No. You have to actively work yourself out of that. If you're a person that struggles with depression, unfortunately, you're going to struggle with depression for the rest of your life. That means that things that would make people sad typically will likely make you more sad. Because it's not, you don't decide to be depressed. I haven't met one person that said, oh, I woke up on a Tuesday, I had nothing better to do. So I was like, why not be depressed today? No. Depression is one, it's a chemical imbalance in your brain. Similar to diabetes, high cholesterol, right?
She's going crazy now.
So it's not something that you can just shake it off. I'm just gonna shake the depression off. No. So you have to rewire those chemicals in your brain. You have to do something different. You can't be depressed and keep doing the same thing and think it's just gonna be like, all right, well, this was cool, I'm out. You have to fight that back. Faith without works is dead.
Come on, Christian.
And that people think that therapy and Christianity and religiosity are so different. They're not. The words are different.
For sure.
The mechanisms are different.
Yeah.
But the foundations are the same. I could talk to you all day about your mental health, but if you're not going to do nothing behind it, we just talking. We're just having a conversation. We're just cool.
Yeah.
So I'm done.
That's right.
That means season 3. Season 3 can't be like season 2.
Yeah, hell nah.
That's why you got these folks.
Yeah, for sure. Gotta elevate, man. Definitely.
Doc and Ace.
Doc and Ace.
Ace over here texting his next move.
I'm sure. Yeah, he texting him.
The Christian Mingle stuff is going on. I
got some work stuff.
The Christian Mingle is taking me out.
Shoot, man. Oh, it's 10:30 already.
Yeah, I got a wife.
Yeah.
For sure. I saw you look at the phone. I was like,
She probably watching, so she's.
oh, all right, bet.
Everybody.
For sure. Oh, man. But shoot, man. Anything? Any final thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, anything? Come on, man.
Thank you for being our first
For
guest.
sure. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Where can they find this? Like, where's the final cut gonna be?
It's gonna be on YouTube, 100%. It's gonna be up on Friday at noon at the latest. Friday at noon. I'm gonna have it up on Instagram. That's where I'm gonna post the link at. It's gonna be on their socials too, and we'll go from there.
What's your Clutchmatic, right?
Clutchmatic is the Instagram. On Instagram, I'm on YouTube. It is Team Clutch Podcast. You can find it there. And yeah, man, I appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
Everybody who's been asking to come up here, I appreciate y'all. Everybody who has been waiting.
Oh, y'all want to kick it with us? That's cool.
You would be surprised.
That's cool.
You would be surprised. Like people just wanna
They probably
sit and get their stuff off.
They probably all Eagles fans.
Then they came
Oh,
from.
God.
Washington, New York,
I'm
Philly.
Washington.
So I had to separate.
It's
them.
okay.
That's all y'all said. That's all y'all could say.
I know the pain. It's
For sure. So
We're about to get Jay-Z on that ownership team
know.
with the Amazon guy. So
I'm
we're
gonna get a black. I'm making me a black commander jersey. Yeah, I do. No funny.
Hey, the
The black joint crispy.
We got some nice jerseys.
Nah,
It's on
for sure.
our team is like-
How you feel about the mascot?
The accessories look.
I don't know.
He said, "How you feel about the what?"
The mascot.
Oh yeah.
What did you just say?
I saw that.
Yeah,
It's like, it's a
the little
pig.
pig.
You have a new mascot?
It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Seriously?
It's a whole.
Oh, well, that's heartbreaking.
Can't call it the hog though.
My grandfather.
Copyrighted.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Damn. Okay. I did
Man,
not
I'm
know
a
that.
fan of Team Clutch.
My
Forget the command. I know. I like the command.
No,
but
forget
I
it.
love team. This is my team. I'm
Yeah.
right. When the
Yeah,
merch drop,
this is team.
when the merch drop, I need size large, slim fit.
Say no more. I got you, man. And man, that's one of my aspirations, man. Like for like getting into like the merch space and like designing stuff and like putting names on shirts.
Man, I got a company for you, bro.
I know. I'm well aware.
We're gonna add the little scammer pocket inside the hoodie.
Yo.
Keep the credit card
I
right.
actually have a hoodie that has a little seat compartment in it.
See?
For sure. Man,
Not detectable in the airport either, so we're gonna be able to get you scamming internationally.
next week, baby. Come on.
I'm not with this guy.
He's a
For
Christian.
sure, man. For sure, bro. But yeah, man, I thank you everybody that's watching, man. Everywhere. I appreciate y'all watching. Man, make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, follow these guys, follow me, follow this guy on all his socials. He got
All of them.
both.
Support the business.
Support the business.
I appreciate
man,
Support the
for sure,
businesses.
man. It's some fire. And y'all see, if y'all watching this, that means y'all watched the videos before where I'm wearing the merch, the hat, the shirt, like I'm the hoodie. You got the hoodie?
The hoodie.
Mhm.
The
She
hoodie.
got the 10. I got the
Oh, that's what's up.
I don't got none yet. You got hats, right?
Yeah, I got
hats.
I got
so-
Christian fits too. Yeah. Old and New Testament. I got you. I got you.
It depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling a little spicy, I went the Old Testament. If I'm feeling a little,
Oh, my goodness.
we can figure it out.
Nah, but I got you.
For sure. But man, my last message out there, man, is just cherish every moment, man, because you never know. Because man, you never know. You never know, man. And just make sure that the people that are important to you know they're important to you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times we just expect people to know they're important. Because I talk to you every day, or you know what I'm saying, like we send Instagram memes to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like so, for sure. So. Yo, if you're important, you know what I'm saying, or if somebody's important to you, make sure they know they're important to you. Like, that's it, man. My last messages in mind.
Nah, that was
No,
clean.
that was good.
I'll do a little something. All right, man.
Later.
For sure. See y'all next week, man.
That's the word. My eye is killing
See,
me the whole time.